Hey guys, what's up? It's TheMarkOfAHero here, and I'm bringing you guys a 38 gun streak with the amount of war while using kill streaks. So yeah, enjoy the gameplay. But what I'm here to discuss is a lot more than just the gameplay, obviously, as you can tell by the title. I haven't done a commentary like this in a while. So if you guys like this, I'll be sure to I'll try to do one every week. But today, or actually, let's talk about thoughtful talks. I always have random questions in my head that I want to bring out that are very subjective and very hard to like, I guess, or just random questions. I guess they don't even have to be subjective or for debate. They're just probably questions some people haven't thought about, or questions that have been thought about but not in a wide context. Or I'm just here to like freaking stimulate your mind. So let's just get on with the commentary. So have you ever thought that history might never end? Like that's one of the subjects that I'm always interested in history, and it's a subjects we study in school, or at least from K through 12, anyways, in the U.S. Oh, yeah, for 12 grades in the U.S. or 13 grades technically if you're counting kindergarten. But actually, I don't even know. It's been too long if you study history there. But yeah, history, it just goes on and on and on. And I first posed the question, would there ever be a time where history becomes too much to study and that people will just always, or they're going to neglect it? Because if you really think about it, I posed this question sophomore year. I'm going to continue on. When I was taking AP World History, phenomenal class. That was one of the classes that really started to make me think in a much more critical way and question a lot more stuff. So if you get the chance, make sure you take that class. Um, what else? What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So and in world history, we do study the world and its history. We went from around 10,000 BC to BCE, I guess I should say, to the present. After Common Era, and it piqued my interest because you have to study so much in that class, and you have to study for the AP exam. You have to know so much. And I've wondered, damn, kids in 2,000 years from now are going to have to study all of this plus whatever we do, you know, in those between the 2,000 years between now and 4016. And the matter is that there's going to be way more innovation. Like as in that course, we started with units that are like ranged from like 10,000 BC to I think it was like 500 AD or something like that, or 3000 BC, because that's like a little unit, because there's the beginning civilizations, hunter gatherers, Mesopotamia, what is it, Sumeria, and I'm forgetting another one, probably Egypt, I think. And there's that little time period, and then there's unit two. There's Athens, Rome, um, Persia, Greece, all that history, and then it divides it into the classical era, and then to the era before the scientific revolution, and then like the revolutionary era, and then kind of like a more modern era, which as you can tell, the timestamps between each era is getting smaller. So regarding the 2000 years, they're gonna have a lot of information for every 100 years, I would presume. So studying all that history is gonna be a lot. And then considering the fact that you know, especially in U.S. history, like I kind of hate that you don't. I mean, in the U.S. obviously, I kind of hate that you don't really go through the history of like every country, every like I don't know. Like I feel like schools should be more inclusive when they talk about history. Like it's very Eurocentric. Not to offend anybody, just we don't talk about the history of Mexico a lot. We don't talk about a lot of South America. We don't talk a lot about like we kind of do talk about Africa in a way. Asia, it just we only study the parts where they coincide with the with the Americans or the Europeans. I loved like that's why I loved world history. Kind of like the history really focused. I mean, it was still Eurocentric, but it was less Eurocentric than other histories are. Because it's cool to just see how each part of the world has progressed. From Australia to North America to even freaking like Canada. Even though it's pretty much desolate for the most part until like I don't know when. But like I don't know, it just made me wonder that if kids are gonna study history, um, like they're gonna have to like probably skip over some of the more important parts, and it makes me fear that some people or whatever the school system is in place, then they're gonna skip over, like slavery and like just like some moral lessons like that, and like this ISIS threat and everything, and I don't know. It's just like they might even skip over 9/11. You never really know. Like with so much history, it's really hard to like announce what exactly they're gonna go over. And if they're going to go over every single event, then they can't go through every event in much detail. So the significance of those events, decreases. There's gonna be too much quantity over the quality. So I don't know. It's just something that I had on my mind for a long while. It worries me for the future. I'm not probably not gonna be living in the future unless they find some freaking type of fountain of youth or whatever. But yeah, it's just some of my thoughts on history, and history is a very important subject, but it really just does depend on what you do, like talk about, and it gives you lessons that studying about history, reading history, it gives you lessons on how to behave, how to act in a morally right way, and it kind of shows you why we don't do some of the things we used to do in the past. Freaking enslavement and stuff. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you guys want to see more of these. And yeah, see you guys.